It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Thank you. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, Carl, Al Pierce from Auto Week. You mentioned earlier that each week's a standalone. You get as many points as you can.
Right.
Do you think back at all to Las Vegas?
You know, not really. I mean, we did the best we could there, and it didn't work out. You know, it's the same as Talladega or, you know, Lowe's. I mean, you know, all those races affected our, you know, the amount of points that we have right now. But at the same time, so did, you know, Atlanta when the engine blew up, and Chicago when we broke the splitter. And, you know, I mean, there's every team can go out here and tell you how they lost, you know, 100, 200 points all season and how they'd get them back. But, no, these are just the things you learn, and really it doesn't do any good to think about them. We just got to go get what we can, you know.
We'll go Seth and then David Poole.
Seth Livingstone, USA Today. Carl, just piggybacking on that nationwide theme for a second, are you able to compartmentalize enough and really give the attention that you might otherwise be able to give the nationwide series, given the fact that you're still in the, you know, so much chasing Jimmy that attention?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think that I've done it for enough years now, and I've got a good enough group of guys that, you know, that when I get in the race car, whether it's, you know, the Cup car, or the nationwide car, or a, you know, a dirt car somewhere or something like that, when I get in there to race, I can really focus, you know, and I feel like that there's no real issue there. You know, the days like this, you know, you are running back and forth and doing a lot of, you know, there's a lot of activity, but race day is pretty simple on both sides, and I don't think that, you know, I don't think that either one of the series is hurting the other one, is what I'm saying.
All right, let's go with David Poole and Kenny Bruce.
After you started winning races, and you had that year in 2006 where you didn't win, there are a couple guys like Gordon, like Kenseth, like Harvick, who have, you know, are used to winning and aren't, and if they don't win in one of the last two races, they're going to have a 0 in that column this year.
Yeah.
Is that a jarring thing to have happen to a driver? And, you know, people will say, well, it's just one of those things. But, I mean, Jeff Gordon have a 0 is kind of a staggering thought. So.
It is. What do you just want me to comment on how it felt for me, or?
The whole idea of going,
right.
Getting used to being a winner and then having a year where you can't be.
Right. It's the thing is that it's so competitive, and I think that that's evidence right there. I mean, you know, we had our year in 2006. You know, Tony went for a long time. You know, Dale Jr. I guess the guys that you mentioned have gone for a long time without a win. It's a really competitive sport, and the difference between winning and losing is so that it's such a slim margin that you can have a couple slip away, and those might have been the only that you know couple chances that you have for a while. So I don't think it's a reflection on any of those guys or their performances as much as it's a reflection on the competitiveness of the sport. I know when we had that 2006, it was like, man, we were running great. You know, we just all these little things would happen, and everything has to go so perfectly to win that you know that we just didn't get one.
We go Kenny and then Lee. Go ahead, Kenny.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR scene. Carl, if you get asked about the championship every week, how close the battle is, you know, and what that's like, do you have any chance whatsoever, or do we forget what kind of season you've had with winning 8 times this year and running as well as you have? I mean, do you get to enjoy that at all? Or does it?
Yeah, the enjoyment for that is when it's going on. You know what I mean? Like this week and last week, man, they're great weeks. You know, I mean, it just feels good to win races. And, you know, but obviously there's that big goal to win the championship. And, I mean, I look at it as we're in a, you know, we can't lose here. Jimmy's got this big lead, and, you know, everyone's written all the articles that he's running away with it and all that stuff. And, I mean, we can go give it our best, and we can win the thing, and that'll be great. And, you know, if we don't, we will have tried our very hardest and made a good run at them. So, but your point is I don't think that the points or whatever, at the end of the day, you look at a guy like Kyle Busch, the 18 team. I mean, you can't take away the fact that they've won all these races this year, no matter where they finish in the points. For the whole summer, they had the rest of us stressing a little bit that they were going to run away with the thing. So I think that you just have to take, for me, you have to take the enjoyment out of the wins and the good runs, and whatever happens in the points, that's what happens.
Go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Traditionally, Jack has been ultra-conservative, been more of a points racer than a racer,
Right.
and you've kind of turned that deal around. Can you talk about just your philosophy of going out and winning races as opposed to constantly being worried about where you are in points and what's going on? I mean, for us, it's certainly you've put on a better show.
Yeah, I think Jack said one of my problems is I'm ultra competitive. So when it comes down to it, I'm like, I'd rather do something and see what happens than to try to calculate and do whatever's safe. You know what I mean? And sometimes that gets me in a little bit of trouble. But for me, I think that you got to go out and race as hard as you can all the time, and I believe that there is a balance, though. Jack is in. He's correct. He's never come and given me advice that I didn't think was right. But yeah, we've seemed to do better this year, just going out there and being aggressive, racing hard, and but Jack still keeps us in check a little bit. I'm sure he saved us a couple points by leaning on me and telling me what he thinks.
Any further questions for Carl? Carl, one more here. David's got one.
We hear a lot of words like pressure and all that stuff. Have you found this to be different when you were you were in the hunt that first year and finished 35 points back? Have you felt more at ease in this one? Has things been different or the same?
I don't know. I mean, that 2005 was. I didn't realize how close we were, how much, until after it was over. But, for me, I try to keep it in perspective. Pressure in this is a competitive outlet, and pressure for me was when I was 21 years old and still living at home and wasn't sure if this was all going to work out. And people were telling me I needed to get a real job. And, regular life is pressure. I think that that this is kind of different, Once you get home and you're away from the racetrack, it's a lot, the pressure for me kind of goes away. And, the only real pressure I'm sure all of us feel is when you're, that last restart, getting ready to go, race for the win. That's when the competitive pressure really comes on. And I'm sure if we have a chance at Homestead, it'll be a lot of anxious moments, just running around. But for now, I feel good about it. Just a lot like we did in 2005, but in a different way, I guess, because of the experience.
Carl, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys.